Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Average Movie Review Podcast. This is spoiler filled. This will be going in depth into Superman, which released today. I got to see it. It was fantastic. If you want my non spoiler review, please go watch the other video that I posted. That's about like 5 minutes long. This is going to be much, much longer. Let's get right into it. It's an amazing film. David does an amazing job. The entire cast was perfect. I think Nathan Fillion, in the limited time that he's in the film, he does an amazing job as Guy Gardner. You will thoroughly enjoy this man's performance. Isabella Mercedes as or is it Mercedes? I don't know. It said Mercedes, but I think it's Mercedes. She does an amazing job as Hawk Girl. Um, who else? You get Metamorpho, who does an amazing job. Nicholas Holt, I think, actually steals the show. Couple of scenes that were amazing was the interrogation scene, where he takes one of the guys that Superman has dealt with in the real life, and then puts a gun to his head, and then actually ends up killing him, which is pretty freaking crazy. And he just has no remorse in his eyes, like he doesn't care, and he hates Superman just for hating Superman, and I absolutely love it. There's a lot of things that are explained throughout the film that are really well explained as well. Like I didn't see personally any plot holes. The fight scenes were absolutely amazing. Every fight scene, the CGI was great, except for I think the fight scene with the dragon-looking monster. I'm sure there's a name for it. There was one scene that kind of stood out was when Guy Gardner was talking to Hawk Girl, and they were fighting, and then he was attacking the eyes or something like that. Scene, the CGI could have been a little bit better, but either than that, I think the CGI was great. Um, there was a lot of great fight scenes, in my opinion. Everybody who worked on this film did an absolutely amazing job. They should all be credited. Like, honestly, uh, James Gunn did not miss with this film. Let me tell you, he he killed it. Like, like there's those hashtags that are going on right now. James Gunn's, was it the gunshots fired or gun did not jam? Like, yeah, it did not jam. He did an amazing job. Oh, another great like there's a lot of good cameos as well. One of the cameos was by Bradley Cooper, who plays Jor El. I didn't even know that, or maybe that was already stated, but I just didn't even realize. Absolutely freaking amazing. That was so much fun to see him on screen. Eddie Gathegi, who plays Mr. Terrific, he does an amazing job. He has actually one of the best, I think, fight scenes in the film as well. He has a whole moment just by himself, just doing whatever the hell he wants, and he does such an amazing job. Anthony Carrigan as Metamorpho was a great pick. Although I found the character development on Metamorpho a little weird, but I guess it's okay. It's fine. Whatever. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Frank Grillo does his job as Rick Flag. There's no what do you call it? There's literally no question about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no complaint on that part. Uh, Rachel Brosnahan does another amazing job as Lois Lane as well. She had that Lois Lane fire that we see in the comics, or we've read in the comics and we've seen in the show. She doesn't take no for an answer. She's talking to Superman. The scene that I think really solidified it for me, there's two scenes that David does. One was the interview scene that's already been released, and that was in the trailer. His passion comes out as Superman, and what I love about it is the fact that, like, when we watch superhero films, it's always about what happens in their country or what happens in their area that matters the most. But for the first time in a superhero film in a very long time, minus of course Civil War, where like Captain America and them they had to go there, but minus that, um, they answer the question like these superheroes, do they have a duty to everyone else? Are they only limited just to where they are in terms of area, or do they have a duty to the rest of the world? And they answer this question very beautifully, very poetically. Now, a lot of people are probably going to get triggered by this, but the reality is that they were trying to show, at least I think they were trying to show the current conflict that's happening between Israel and Gaza. And they were showing how if superheroes were alive today, what is happening right now would never be happening. Someone would have stepped in. There's no legal way of actually justifying this, of what is happening right now in Gaza, and the way like a state cannot just attack another state. And this was kind of one of the main points in the film. Again, it's not. I don't think it's like supposed to take the highlight or the real reason of the film, but they were trying to show that, and they did such an amazing job at that. Like Superman believes that like he is not just here for America; he is here for the world. His purpose is here for the world, and he needs to um, be protecting the world. No matter wherever anything is going on, he needs to be there, and the hope that he brings, right? So that scene in the interview where he's so passionate, he's like, I can't let people die. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is crazy. Like, why are we even having this discussion? He's right, right? It's us that bring the complication, humans that bring the complication by politics and all that other crap and everything, geopolitical situations, whatever, right? Sanctions, like all that shit. It's us that make it worse, right? But he's just doing the right thing, and the right thing is to protect people regardless of what is happening. When there's a group of people who are the weaker people, you have to protect them, the people that are actually the stronger kind, right? They're not the victims. It's the victims. The victims are the people that cannot defend themselves. So that was one scene. And then the second scene that really solidified for me that he was Superman was the last scene where he confronts Lex and he tells Lex that your whole thing, your obsession with me is absolutely ridiculous. He's like, you think that I'm some sort of god, but I'm not. I get scared. I am this, I am that. I am human. I'm more human than you are. Or not than he is, but like, he says like, I'm more human than you think, right? Like I still make mistakes, and that's what being human is all about, learning from your mistakes and making those mistakes. That was a very, very well done speech. And I think that for me solidified him as Superman. So kudos to both David and James for making a scene like that. Um, the CGI was done very, very well. I think people were just shitting on it for no reason. It was actually done really, really well. Every fight scene was really well. The like I mentioned, the only CGI issue that I had was this one in the first half of the film where he's fighting that dragon, and then Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl are fighting, and then there's like there's a moment where they pan the camera towards Guy Gardner, and it doesn't look real enough to me, and it just felt a little weird, and it kind of took me out of the immersion. But after that, everything else was great. Um, Again, every actor played their role. What I liked about it is some of the main characters really got to shine in the film. Nathan Fillion did an amazing job. Like I said, Nicholas Hoult, show stealer, absolutely bomb ass Luthor, great man, is a lover of the game. He hates on the game for hating on the game. Superman David does an amazing job. Like I said that again. Couple of things I guess that I probably had a little bit of an issue with in the film was I didn't like the way Pa and Ma Kent were recognized or like portrayed. I don't like the mannerisms or like the way that they were shown. They were shown to be kind of like these illiterate hicks, and not like hicks in the sense that like they are rude to people, but I just didn't like the way that they were being portrayed. I feel like they're much more smarter. Like there's a scene where she's calling Clark and like she's talking into the phone like it's a foreign object, but like I know for a fact that she's not that dumb, and like she can like they can do better. Like I don't know what they were trying to show by that. Like they were too simple in my opinion, but they're not. They're very wise and smart people. So I didn't like that. I think that was a little stupid. There were a few emotional moments in the film that kind of got ruined by the comedy. Some of it was good. Some of the comedy was great. Like the timing was great, but I just feel like there was emotional moments where we just didn't need the comedy, and it was just I was like, it kind of takes away from the moment. One of those moments was like I enjoyed it, but now that I look back at it, like there was something that was supposed to happen in that scene, and it didn't really make sense. Is like when he comes back to his apartment and Lois is there. They're having that conversation, and there's like a whole fight scene happening in the background, and everybody was focused on that, but they were actually having like an emotional and deep connection and conversation, right? Or even at the end where like he Lois takes him to the back of a building and then they make out or whatever, right? And then it cuts to like Perry and them, and then they're like, "So how long have those two been hooking up?" Like like I don't think that was needed. Honestly, some jokes didn't were not needed in the film. I think it was perfectly fine the way it was. But again, it did take away from that. If I had to say any other complaints of the film, I think maybe some people might not like the pacing. If you're not a superhero fan, you won't like the additional characters because you may not know who they are and they're kind of just thrown into this. But you also have to understand, like, the opening credits explain that, like, metahumans have existed for a while in this universe and, like, they've all been here. So in reality, like, they don't have to justify it to you as an audience member, or they don't have to explain things to you. If you really wanted to know who they were, you would go out and find out yourself. So I that was one thing, and then another thing that I think they kind of missed upon was the message from Jor-El and from his mom. The second half of the message, sorry, that they never really explained, or like they never really got to. I don't know why they just never did it. Um, they they never explained what they meant in the second half. That was a little stupid. And also, I guess, like, the fact that they kind of turned on him so quickly after listening to the message or the second half or the fake part of it, and how humans kind of like turn right against him, even though they've known him for like 3 years and they know that he's not like this. So that was like dumb, like a little dumb. And then there was like a woman crying, and I was like, that's a little too dramatic. Like, calm down. It's not that serious. So that was like some moments here and there that were like a little too much in my opinion, but I guess it's to help further the plot, right? It's to show us like how he reacts in times of like where people don't believe him and whatnot, and what he decides to do at that moment. So that was one thing. What else? Crypto was amazing. I thought the dog was just absolutely freaking awesome. Um, there was this one scene with Crypto. Oh yeah, I guess it was like a nod to the Avengers, but it was a scene where at the end where he Crypto comes in and grabs Luthor and then kind of smashes him around the room, just like how Loki was smashed by Hulk at the end of Avengers. I don't know if it was like a nod to the Avengers or whatever, but that was funny. That was actually really good. I really enjoyed that scene. Yeah, and then we got to see Millie Alcock as Supergirl. This scene, it seems like they're taking the route of like kind of like a superhero who doesn't want to take the responsibility of being a superhero yet. So maybe that's what her film is going to be about, like her pushing herself to become the hero that she's meant to be. Not like the Supergirl show; it's a little bit more different than that. The Maxwell Lord cameo was freaking perfect. I was wondering, I was like, where is Sean Gunn? Where is this man? And then he just shows up out of nowhere. Freaking amazing. Honestly, one of the best parts of the film. I think it was just a light little thing, and it was just like, yeah, there he is. Like, you're just happy to see him. Alan Tudyk does an amazing job as a Superman robot. I don't care what anyone says, man. Alan Tudyk is the most talented freaking actor out there, bro. I don't know how this man doesn't have more roles. This guy's just freaking amazing. Like, he's in the film for like maybe 10 minutes overall, and every time he's in it, he's just freaking amazing. His voice is just so, like, it's him, and you just know it's going to be a good time regardless. So shout out to him, bro. Freaking amazing actor. What else? I think that's about it. To be quite honest, yeah, like I don't know what to tell you. The last fight scene was awesome. Um, there's like that big twist at the end. I'm not gonna. I guess I won't spoil that one for anyone who's ever made it this far. But if you've been listening this much, then I've kind of spoiled everything for you. So I don't even know. But yeah, um, yeah. Like the last fight scene was pretty awesome. Again, like the CGI was great, guys. Like you will enjoy this film. Music was amazing too. I don't think a lot of people. I don't know. Like I don't think a lot of people really expected it that way, but the music was really, really good. John Murphy, that's his name. I don't know why I said John Williams in the last film. My bad. He does such a great job, and like the Superman theme is perfect. And some of the shots, holy crap, man! James Gunn knows how to shoot a film. The slow motion scenes, perfectly done, beautifully casted. And I think if you do watch this in IMAX, you will actually enjoy it. And if you watch it in 3D, you will also enjoy. I watched it in 3D. I don't like 3D films, but this was actually not a bad 3D film. But if you watch it in IMAX, I think you will also enjoy it in IMAX too. I think it was visually, it was a very stunning film. But the theme song, his theme is so evident and it's so Superman like. It's crazy how Superman like it is. It gives you hope, and I think this is what the film does the best. Just to end it off here, like it actually does give you hope. There's a lot of hope in this film. There's a lot of goodness in this film. There is a lot of kindness in this film. This is a different kind of superhero film, but this is a superhero film that's like literally ripped from the comics and put onto our screens. There are moments that make no sense, but it works for us. There are moments where things that we don't believe that would ever happen, and we believe it because of how good it's shown. So kudos to them for doing such a great job at bringing this to life. I think the DCU is in great hands. This was a first, like I think this was a great first step. We already know Creature Commandos did an amazing job, but this film really does open up a world of possibilities, and I'm super excited to see all the other members join soon, eventually, hopefully. And I think what I'm most excited about is to see David Superman meet Batman and their friendship and their dynamic duo. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I really want to see. And I think we're going to get that. And especially when he's Superman, by God, this man is Superman. Like, he's just so cringy and quirky and like nerdy. It's so funny. And you're just like, that's Superman. That's who he is. That's how he's always been. You know, I grew up watching the 1990s Superman, and I've even seen the Christopher Reeves film when they came out, right? Like, when I grew up older and I watched them and I enjoyed them. You know, I enjoyed Brandon Routh's version of Superman. I enjoyed even Henry Cavill's version of Superman. Henry Cavill's was the one that I think I felt the most relatable to because it felt so real, right? It started asking the real questions, right? Of like damage of the world and all of that stuff. But in this film, like he takes his, like, you know, they take a different approach, but it works. And it's nice to see that they take into consideration of so many different factors, right? You can't honestly you can't complain. That's the biggest thing. I think a lot of people used to complain, "Oh, Henry Cavill Superman destroyed the world," right? In this film, he doesn't. He saves so many people. There's very minimal casualties. He tries his best to make sure that no one gets hurt. You know, and people might even complain about that. That's so unrealistic. Superman can't do that, blah, 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 or something like that. They'll always find something to nitpick. But in this film, they answer a lot of those questions, and now people are going to find other things to be nitpick, like, you know, nitpick about it. Like the whole thing that it's too woke, it's too this. That's on people. I swear to God, that's just stupid. It's not woke. It's just showing you the reality of what we live in right now, and the reality that if Superman was real, this is what he would do. Regardless of what people think, this is what he would do. He doesn't just stand for America, right? He stands for the world. And I think every comic, every person who's ever written Superman has made that very clear. He is not just built for America, or he's not just made for America or just this country or one specific area. He's made for the world. He's a symbol of hope for the world. And he inspires people. So once again, kudos to James Gunn. The gun did not jam. Great film. I gave it a solid 4 out of 5. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm excited to see where this is headed. And please let me know what you guys think too. Like, do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? I'd love to hear from you guys. But yeah, this is 19 minutes of just me rambling. And yeah, okay. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful night.